Was that the low for the US dollar? And what does it mean for pairs like the euro, the pound, and also gold? I'll have my exact trade plan in today's video, so be sure to stick around. My name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's jump right into it with the 4-hour DXY chart. So obviously markets have been very sideways over the past few weeks. Okay, so not a lot of action out there in the markets. I mean, there has been a lot of sideways action, but not a lot of trends developing here over the past few weeks. And a lot of this just has to do with what is going on in the Middle East. Markets are really struggling to make sense of what's happening out there. And I think all of us can kind of agree that markets are not wrong and kind of being confused right now as far as which way to trend. Now, with that said, though, what we can see from the DXY is back here, we had the gap close. Okay, so this was the gap that we talked about here at the time. So we saw the market close this gap here. We also saw a market shift, okay, a bullish shift off of these highs and lows that we also talked about at the time. Now, we still have this imbalance up here in the 100 region, okay? So we still have this imbalance up here for the DXY. And even though the market has been sideways, what you'll notice here is that the DXY has not taken out this low back here. So all of this right now is just internal, okay? So you had the low back here, you had that internal shift on the 1 hour time frame. And since that time, really all of this here is just internal price action, okay? So not a lot to work with here in terms of a potential bottom, because really the DXY would have to take out these highs back here, which if we look at this, these highs come in right around 99.15 or so, maybe 99.2. Okay, so in this general region up here, this is what the DXY would have to take out these highs over here and this high right here in order to turn bullish toward that imbalance just below 100. Okay, so as of right now, a very sideways market. However, what I keep going back to, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is the fact that if we go to a daily time frame and you ignore all of this internal market, price action through here. Okay, so all of these internal labels, let's just ignore all of these here for a second, because let's focus on this right here, the BOS here below these lows. Okay, so break of structure below this, and then we had a close above this high back here, which was the external high within this range. Okay, so with this here, this gives us a bullish change of character on the daily. So I still think, okay, and I could be wrong here, but I still think that with this and with this recent pullback, okay, this right here could just be mitigating this area back here before we get a higher low. Now, what we don't know is if this here is going to be the low or if we potentially get a bit lower. But what I do think is that we are likely to get a higher low here from the DXY, just given the structure that we've seen over the past few months, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. If you look here at these daily candles back here, you're going to say, well, this was a very close call, okay? And it was on the DXY chart. However, if you look at the euro closed below its subsequent low by over 50 pips. Okay, so it was very, very convincing. Even this, though, is really not that close. Okay, this was pretty convincing here, the close above there, to give us that bullish change of character on the daily chart. So this is something to keep in mind. If you are getting bearish on the US dollar here in this region, I think that's a dangerous play, simply because we do have the daily chart showing us a potential bottom. And it would make sense, guys. I mean, consider the fact that the DXY was down sharply in 2025. Okay, so a shift here into a bullish structure over the next few weeks or months does make a lot of sense. Furthermore, too, keep in mind that look at this imbalance back here, but specifically look at this imbalance right here. Okay, so I don't know if the DXY is going to get up here. Nobody knows that. Okay, but when you look at this imbalance back here, you look at the daily time frame giving you the bullish change of character, like we talked about. This right here, I do think that over the coming weeks, we are likely to get a higher low, either from these lows here or potentially a bit lower. Okay, so that is my base case right now for the US dollar. And again, I could be wrong, okay, but I have to carry that over into pairs like the euro, the pound, and also gold. So when we look at the euro here on the 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice is that we did have a bullish change of character back here on the 4 hour. So this back here was the external high following this BOS right here. We did get the close above. Okay, so this shifted us into a bullish structure following a downtrend that lasted several months. Okay, so that is significant. Now, at the same time, though, what you can see, and we've talked about this before as well, below this low right here, you can see that we have this displacement candle. And this is so far completely unmitigated. You can also see where we are getting lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so the market kind of looks, in my opinion, a little bit heavy up here. And considering the fact that we do have this imbalance back here below these lows for the euro, I would expect a move down here toward about 1.16, possibly a bit lower over the coming days to mitigate this imbalance. Okay. Now, what we get from there will be significant because it'll be a matter of, do we start taking out these lows back here? Okay, does the euro start to take out the lows back here in this area and start to look bearish once again? Or do we get a bullish change of character down here somewhere? Okay, that's going to be the key here for the euro over the coming days if we do see this area mitigated. All right, so that is something to pay attention to. But overall, even though we are still sideways here for the euro, I still think, as I've said in recent videos, I still think that this area down here around 1.16, possibly a bit lower, could be in the cards just to mitigate the imbalance that we saw back here, which so far is completely unmitigated. Okay, so let's turn our attention to the pound here, GBPUSD, and it's a similar situation, although in this case here, what you'll notice is that back here we had a really nice downtrend from this market, really nice swings from the pound here, lower highs and lower lows. And then what you'll notice is we got the BOS here, making this the external high. We did get the close above, making this a bullish change of character. Now, at the same time, like the euro, we have this imbalance back here that has yet to be mitigated. Okay, and this is significant. This candle right here, this displacement here below these lows, okay, this area down here around 1.33, in my opinion, this is where we are potentially headed to mitigate that imbalance. Now, you can also see where recently on the 4-hour chart, you can see we had the highs here, we had the pullback, okay, and then we took this out, giving us a new BOS. So this down here is now a protected low. So the way that this looks is if we were to get a close below these lows, then you technically would have a bearish, although we don't have this yet, keep that in mind. This is just for illustration purposes. If we were to get a close below this low, then we have a bearish change of character, okay? So you have the bullish change of character back here, you have the displacement, this imbalance, and then you potentially have a bearish change of character forming. Okay, and this just kind of speaks to, guys, the way that the markets have been so sideways recently, because you might be asking, well, what do you do in this case if we were to get this? Okay, again, we haven't gotten it yet, but what if we do get it? Well, if you have a change of character over here, change of character over here, it's pretty clear that the market is indecisive at the moment and just kind of really grappling with what to make of what's going on in the Middle East. And again, if you've been reading the headlines, it is a very confusing situation. It's a very fluid situation. So it would be no surprise to see the market give us a change of character here, come back and mitigate this imbalance. And then like the euro, it's just going to matter, depend on what we get from there. If we do see 1.33 or lower, where this market goes over the coming weeks. Okay, but for now, again, I think if we get the move below these lows, take these out, then I think 1.33 is in play. The key there though, like always, guys, I want to be clear about this. If we get the close below here, and this is really the benefit of being in Discord, which, by the way, if you do want to join us, check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to be a completely free SMC training that you will not find on YouTube. Beyond that, though, you will have a chance to join us in Discord for my help with your trading, including seeing my trades live and also the full SMC course that I put together. Okay, so with the pound, what's going to be key here? I talk about this all the time, but if we get the close below these lows, this right here would not be the short. Okay, that would just confirm that we have a change of character. And this area down here is open for business. The short here in this case, if we were to get the close below here, would be to look for a lower high. Okay, so this would just confirm things. The short, though, would come on any imbalances that form as a result of the move lower. Okay, a little bit difficult to explain without having it here on the chart. But again, this is the benefit of being in Discord, because if we were to get that, then I would be posting that for members in Discord in real time as far as exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's move on to gold now, XAUUSD. And I still think, as I've said in the recent videos, guys, we had this change of character over here. So you can see that this relief off of the lows right back here, we took out this low back here. And this right here, the fact that we had acceptance below this low told me that this recent pullback is still alive and well, okay? In my opinion, there is no confirmed bottom here for gold. And this relief that we've seen, as I've said in recent videos, this relief that we've seen up here was, on the one hand, around the top, and two, we had this imbalance back here that we came up and mitigated. So in my opinion, once we had the close below this low back here, because notice what we had. All right, we had this high develop, we had the pullback, we then had gold take it out, okay, close above. And you can really see it on the 1 hour time frame as well. So once we had this low down here was the one to watch. Okay, and we can see that we got a close below. So in my last videos, what I talked about there was that we got a close below here. That is now a bearish change of character, which that right there opens up the area down here below these lows. Okay, so specifically below 4,300. Okay, 4,300 and below down here in this region, this is still what I'm eyeing for gold over the coming days. Okay, so given the structure here from gold, given this bearish change of character back here, and the lower highs that we've gotten recently, right? I still think that this region below these lows, around 4,300 or below, is where gold is headed. Now, of course, if we were to see the market come up here and start to take out these highs, and especially some of these highs back here, then that could change things and start to look a little bit more bullish. But as of right now, I am, relatively bearish on gold, looking for a move to 4,300 or below. I hope this video helped. If it did, be sure to keep it locked in here by subscribing to the channel, and also check out this video right here where I walk you through exactly how to identify a breakup structure and change of character in simple terms. Until next time, trade well out there. I will talk to you again tomorrow.